Gingerly, Hall's Gap is getting back on its feet. Normally, this town surrounded by the Grampians National Park in Victoria would be heaving with holiday visitors. Not this year.
And quite simply, without people here, we don't do any trade. So we've had a lot of cancellations as far as transport goes, as food drops and that type of stuff as well.
5 days before Christmas, Hall's Gap was closed as out-of-control bushfires sparked by lightning strikes raged in the Grampians National Park, about 260 kilometres west of Melbourne.
And our core market are people going on day walks or going on overnight hikes.
For these outdoor outfitters, the shutdown couldn't have come at a worse time.
It's going to hurt us and we're going to feel the impacts for a while. And we thrive on visitation. And if there's no boots coming through the door, we get no customers.
Tourism is the lifeblood of this area. The bushfires closed Grampians National Park and wiped out nearly 3 weeks of trading over Christmas. For some tourism businesses, up to 25% of their annual income is gone. For now, a small army of forestry workers and firefighters are keeping cafes like this one afloat.
With all the recovery crews, there's still people working on the fire ground, there's still people that are going to be assessing the tree risks in the park, and all these crews need to be fed, they all need coffee, so that really helps to prop us up in the short term.
Hudson is selling a print of a photo he took in the early days of the bushfires to raise money for a wildlife rescue campaign. As for government support for his own cafe, for now, that can wait.
I haven't had a lot of time to actually apply for the support in this instant. I know that Council's working pretty hard to try and make the process as easy as possible and be supportive, but I haven't actually gotten to the point yet where I've had time to look at it properly.
So on Boxing Day, that's where it all broke out. So a week out, we engaged with Department of Health.
Incident Controller Mark Gunning, in charge of the firefighting response, said closing the town was the only option, with the blaze burning more than 76,000 hectares, nearly half of the park.
It's not lost on me the impact at a community level. So, businesses, that earn most of their income at this time of year, when we make those decisions, those factors are in the back of our mind. Obviously, primacy of life is first and foremost.
No human life was lost, but at the Hall's Gap Zoo. For owner Mark Traweek, around Christmas, the race was on to save the 500 animals here.
Makes you nervous, especially when it's just over the back ridge. So you're watching to see flames coming over and see what happens from there and wind directions and things like that. So never stops.
Firefighters in the zoo set up hoses and sprinklers to protect the animals that couldn't be moved.
Come on, mate. Just a big puppy dog, aren't you, boy? Good boy.
As smoke filled the sky, Kapamba the rhino wasn't going anywhere.
You're not going to be moving this guy.
Not moving this guy in a hurry, that's for sure. Not going to be able to put him just on a normal truck and a normal trailer, so.
How much does he weigh?
Oh, a little bit. Wouldn't want him to step on my toe, that's for sure.
The zoo is back up and running. Now they need those holiday crowds to return.
Hopefully everyone can rebook that's cancelling. There's people cancelling up to May, so for some of the caravan parks, and they need those people. So if everyone can come back now and help us all out, that would be amazing.
And it's not looking its best at the moment because we haven't had any rain, which is why it's so dry, which is why it's burned.
Artist Roz MacArthur lives on a farm next to the southern part of the Grampians National Park. She and her husband chose to stay and protect their home for the second time in a year.
I think this is probably the worst fire, so this was probably the hardest. The first one wasn't too good either because I'm not a country girl, but you do get used to it and you are prepared for it.
For MacArthur, bushfires are something to fear, but they are also an inspiration.
So as an artist, when you see something like that, you see this picture, does it sort of plant in your mind and you think, I need to use this?
Absolutely. It's so powerful and so beautiful, really. I mean, I know it's frightening for most people, and it's frightening for me too, but the power and the beauty within it is just extraordinary. Nature's amazing.
With roads closed due to the fires, her studios had no visitors in weeks.
We need the roads open. We just need those roads open again. We need visitors to come back, and we need people to still enjoy the beauty, because it hasn't all burnt, but the mountains are still there, and it's still gorgeous.